Yeah, this is my green screen and all. Hello everyone, welcome to Craft of Creating. I want to make a quick video about what makes good photos and whether or not what you need to look for. And this is also for dyslexics that want to learn how to do photography but have issues learning and all that. I'm a dyslexic myself, so let's get to it. I'll try to make this so simple. So the question is, what makes a good photo? Well, you need to have a concept. Compose your shot. Rule of thirds is a big important thing. If you look at this picture right here, this is pretty much rule of thirds. It gives a dynamic and a pretty cool look to the photo. You have to also have expression. What is the photo telling? What's the story about the photo? Like these example photos right here, they have a story. Childhood, friendliness, loving animals, or still life when you're trying to make a story with toys, like warfare or just promoting stuff for a company, like some anime figurines or cartoon figurines, or even like maybe Nintendo, but these are all editorial purposes. And then you just take the shot. Make sure you get it right, because it's going to be a yay or a nay depending on the shot. Either it's going to look nice or look kind of bland. You have to compose it right. Zoom up to the person's face or the object or whatever you're taking, but also play around with the settings. I will mention every camera is different. There is going to be changes of aperture, depth of field. Depth of field is when the background's blurry but the person's clear, or you may do the opposite where the person's blurry but the background's clear. Usually I'd say don't do that if you're looking for a specific subject to shoot and what you're telling in your photo. Now, different companies or people in general look for photos on stock sites. I have multiple stock sites where I list my photos every so often. Some I list more than others because, well, they make a little more revenue. But if you're going to start doing this, you have to find what people want. Now, you don't have to be afraid to try to go to every other stock site. Just start uploading in every stock site. The more money, the merrier. But you, like I said, figure out what people want. Sometimes these stock places put up what people are looking for, either their commercial use or history or something. Now, technically, what does good for me is, now sometimes some objects do pretty good on specific sites, but I'm going to tell you this, a majority of my photos that do so well are people photos, mostly diverse people, like the Latino community. Sometimes some of my toy photos sell, and sometimes animal photos. But the number one thing that makes me more money is people photos. If you want to get into people photos, do that. But if you're a bit shy, then, try to find something or your niche that you like to shoot. I will say still life is fine, but you have to be creative. Otherwise, it gets dull after a while. I've taken so many still life photos, especially flowers and stuff. Like, while they're nice, you could do a lot of cool effects. They get dull because millions of people have shot those. You got to find something unique and different. The one thing you really need to look out for when you take photos is make sure that it's in nice, clear detail. If it's too noisy, some companies, like stock companies, will not accept it. That is the gist. Now, sometimes some companies are all right with it, but others are not. You also have to look out for copyright materials on someone's shirt if you're taking a photo, unless you put it as editorial. Sometimes it'll be fine or not. You also need to get model releases if you want to use their photos. I've had to get in multiple model releases, and so far, so good. Now, like I said, go out there, take your photos. Figure out what you want to shoot. Sometimes I write concepts of what I want, but at the end of the day, it's mostly at the spur of the moment that I decide to take a shot. We're going to get into this subject in the video. What is better, a camera or a phone to do photography? Now, this is a bit complicated because technically they both do well. It is good to have a camera for more professional stuff and for other things that a phone may be limited to. However, the problem with cameras is that you have to bring it around and about, and it's a luggage, and then when you try to pull it out and set it up, then whatever you were going to shoot, it's too late. They're either gone, or if an animal was sitting there, they're gone. On top of that, you have to change out the lenses, it's time consuming. I went with a Samsung 22 Ultra, and it does fine. But what's nice though is all the AI effects it can do for you. You can edit your stuff there. And as you see as these results, they take nice shots. Now I can edit them myself, just like any other photo that I've taken in the past several years, but you could also do it on your phone. It's nice to have a camera with you that you could just pop out, take the shot. See, at these moments, it would have taken me a bit to actually get my camera set up and all that. But with a phone, you could just keep clicking and take multiple shots. And it gives you nice detail. And some of these were accepted on stock sites. It really just depends on your niche. If you prefer the camera, that's good, but the phone's nice too. I'd say it's best to have both, but if you're going to pick one, because they're expensive. Phones definitely is one place to go, especially if you're out at a con or an event or something. Nice to have a phone, take the shots, gives you a nice detail sometimes. Now, if you look at these comparisons, you're going to see a difference, obviously, but they still deliver in the detail. Now, my camera is a Sony camera that's a 2013 model, which is older, and the Samsung model is obviously the newest of the bunch. As long as you know what you're shooting and as long as you know how to edit, then that's good. Then you know what to do. But with a phone, you can edit it on your phone instead of having to wait until you go back to your house, edit it on a computer. Either way, the phone does have the upper hand. Quality-wise, they both shoot fine no matter what camera you're using. It's just that the phone will automatically get things done in a nice quality for you instead of you having to do it yourself. However, cameras, while they have settings for depth of field, aperture, ISO, which I will get into another video about those, you do have the same settings on your phone, so that's nice. Now, if you're wanting to become a photographer, any camera will work, even a phone. You just got to pick the right one to make a good shot. I hope this gives you people out there, especially people that have dyslexia, an understanding of what makes good photos, but most of this is common sense. As long as my eye looks at whatever direction that I think I can pinpoint a good shot, then that's what you go for. Now, once you get the grasp of understanding how cameras work, which will take you a bit if you have a little bit of a hard time understanding, but don't worry, as long as you study it, really study it hard, you will get the gist. I have studied New York Institute of Photography. It's shown me a lot of details on how to do stuff. I would definitely check them out if you're interested.